Hello everybody, hope everyone is doing well. Just come down to a quiet spot on one of the many beaches. I was just driving around, wasn't really going to take any pictures, but the sky looks pretty epic. So I might go and get my camera out of the bag and see if I can get a couple of landscape shots. There's nothing happening in the water here, so I can't do any wave stuff, but maybe a couple of slow shutter speed shots. As I said, the sky is just sort of taking off. In my last video I did some shots with the live ND and there was nothing in the sky, so the shots were kind of bland. But when you've got interesting skies, anything is possible. And talking about the sky, it's got a little bit to do with what I'm going to talk about today. Now obviously my YouTube channel is predominantly wildlife channel. I do some landscapes, but predominantly bird photography, wildlife. Nearly all my videos I feature the OM-1, which is my main camera. My OM-1 and my Olympus 300mm f4, which I'm very happy with. Now in the last couple of weeks, OM Systems have released the OM-1 Mark II and a lens to go with it, the 150 to 600mm. I can't remember all the details. So I thought the fact that a lot of the people who watch this channel use the OM-1 or are interested in the OM-1, I should probably make a comment about this new camera. First, I'll start with the lens. That's something I'm not interested in. The reason I started using micro four thirds is I liked the small compact size, and I love the fact that 300mm is so small. I can add the teleconverter, which is also tiny. Doesn't really add any weight or length to the setup, and it gets me the 840mm equivalent. And I really don't feel I need any more length. You know, I spend a lot of time practicing on trying to get close to wildlife without scaring them, working on technique rather than just more length is better. So the lens doesn't really interest me. It looks pretty heavy. I think it's made by Sigma. It's the same as that 150 to 600mm lens. And yeah, it doesn't interest me. I had the Tamron 150 to 600 about 5 years ago, just for about a month, and I didn't like it. It wasn't sharp enough for me. I'm sure the Sigma is a good lens, but yeah, I'm not interested. So that's the lens done. The camera, it's got a few interesting features that I think might appeal to some, but for me personally, it doesn't really appeal to me. Apparently the autofocus is better. Well, of course, if someone gave me the camera, I would certainly give it a go. And if the autofocus is better, then that would be something that would appeal to me. But the main features that interest me in the camera were the improved autofocus and the larger buffer. But even the buffer really isn't that much of an issue for me. I'm usually pretty careful when I take burst shots. I don't just go unlimited. I also try and re-engage the shutter button during a burst just to make sure I've got everything in focus. I don't just rely on it and then just keep it pressed down until the whole burst is finished, because I'm never sure that it's totally in focus. So I'm often playing with my finger anyway. So I don't just literally keep it down. And I don't use SH2, 50 frames a second, very much. If there's an osprey that's about to dive, I'll have that. Kingfisher, I'll have that. But everything else, I don't really use it. So the buffer for me isn't something I really need. It's very rarely that I fill the buffer and think, oh, I didn't get this or that shot. Of course, I would be interested in the improved autofocus. I need to see how much better it is. I'm pretty happy with the OM-1 autofocus, to be honest. Don't really feel the need to upgrade. I think it's very easy when you're a nature photographer or any photographer is just to keep buying the latest gear. But the latest gear now is coming out every year or two. The OM-1 only came out 2 years ago. I don't think it's good enough to warrant an upgrade if you have the OM-1. If you're coming from one of the older Olympus cameras, then absolutely. Why not get the latest one if you can? But in terms of going from the OM-1, to me, it's not worth the upgrade unless it was given to me. So yeah, I mean, basically, I don't want to go through all the specs. There's loads of reviews online. A lot of people affiliated to Olympus obviously are saying how great they think the camera is. But in terms of my photography, I mean, I am interested in the graduated filter. I do occasionally do landscape, but I don't do it enough to warrant it. And I just enjoy using the live ND on my OM-1. I don't see any need to upgrade. And as I said, I might try and use the live ND after this video. So for me, I don't see the need to upgrade the camera, and I certainly won't be getting the lens, although I'm sure both are great products by OM Systems. Not enough to make me really want to, plus the fact I can't afford it anyway. But I don't need to upgrade. I noticed with so many people in photography, they're just constantly upgrading. And I would say work on your skills, work on your techniques, your field craft and your skills before just buying the best camera. Because often people will get one camera, they'll jump from camera to camera to camera, and they have the same complaints. So this autofocus isn't perfect. They go to the next one. This autofocus. Get your skills up. That's what I would say. Improve your skills. One thing I will mention is I looked on a few forums and discussions on the internet about the OM-1 Mark II. And people who had the OM-1 started saying, well, now there's this new camera with an improved autofocus. Actually, the OM-1's not a very good camera and it needed upgrading. And I just think that's ridiculous. I mean, the OM-1 to me is a very, very capable camera. And I just think the fact that there's something new that some people are saying it's better in this department, it's better in that department. People are now looking back in hindsight and saying, well, actually the OM-1 wasn't great, Cameras always look worse when you compare them to the latest model, and I would suggest that's not a healthy thing to do. Be happy with what you have and get out there and take pictures. Don't spend on a camera that's been renewed literally 2 years later. Use that money and go on a wonderful trip and get really great shots. Just a short video today, nothing special, just wanted to give you my thoughts on the new OM-1 Mark II. Good luck to everyone who's getting it, good luck to everyone who's got it. I just won't be doing it. Everything that I do and I need to do, I can do with my current OM-1. I don't need anything else. If it had a much bigger sensor with more megapixels, that might have really tweaked my interest. But the features that it has don't. I'm certainly not saying the camera doesn't look like a wonderful camera. It certainly does. And there are lots of features that would be interesting. Like, for example, definitely the improved video autofocus, which is definitely appealing to me because I'm crap at video. But I think for me, primarily, I need to get out there and practice more video and improve my skills. If I just get a camera that makes it easier, that means I'm not dealing with the underlying problem of being crap at video. I need to really practice, and that's something I don't. I'm always concentrating on taking photos, but one time I really need to go out, take a tripod with me and really focus on trying to improve my video skills. Just getting a camera that's going to make it easier, yeah, that's great. If I had unlimited funds, that would be fantastic. But no, I need to get better myself. I think the OM-1's video is perfectly good to me. It's basically where I'm at with my level. Why get a better camera which is better than me at video? Like, I feel I'm a good stills photographer, so I think I'm worth getting a really good camera that has top tier autofocus because I think my skills will get the most out of it. But I think me getting a really great video autofocusing camera, to me is kind of like cheating. My skills aren't there yet. So I feel I need to practice more to get my skills up rather than just getting a better camera that can do it for me. That's just lazy. I want to improve in all areas of photography and be the best I can be. And just getting a better camera that does everything for me is not something that I want to do. The other stuff, you can do better handheld high res, which again, great, but I enjoy using the one that I've got and I need to master that. And I don't use it enough to warrant getting a better version because I've hardly used it. So focus stacking, again, I think there's improvements there. I do use that, but again, for what I do, the focus stacking works fine. If I was using focus stacking every week, then possibly, but I'm not. So all those extra features look great, but I don't need them. And yeah, as I said, if I had unlimited funds and I was given the camera, then maybe it'd be different. The fact is that I have to pay for my own cameras. And if I sold this camera, I wouldn't get much back for it. And then to spend all that extra money on the new camera, and then look at my kids, they have bread and water for the next 2 years. Yeah, not worth it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. If you are subscribed, please leave a comment and a like. It does help. Take care and see you in the next one. Bye. So the sky is kind of not as interesting as it was, and I don't want to go back to my car because I've kind of walked far away. Sunset's in about half an hour. So I got a new iPhone about 2 months ago, and I might see if I can get some interesting shots with the iPhone just in and around the beach. Obviously I can't film it because I've only got this on me, but yeah, this phone doesn't shoot RAW. So we're just gonna see what we can get with what we have. And hopefully I can get some nice photos just using the phone. because I felt a bit guilty just coming down, waffling on for 10 minutes about a camera that most of you never even heard of. So I'll add a little bit of content to the end of that video, see if I can get some shots using the iPhone. Okay.